podcast that talks about mental health issues and dives into them a bit deeper. My name's Alana.
My name's Lydia.
And together we're going to be talking about different topics. If you have any topic suggestions, then please send them in. But today we're going to be talking about agoraphobia and anxiety and how we've both dealt with this disorder and how it affects our daily life. And we're also going to be giving maybe some tips on how you can work towards overcoming it in your own life. So the first question that we have is how do you overcome agoraphobia? So I might start with this one. Agoraphobia is really hard to overcome because agoraphobia is a fear of leaving the house and a fear of wide open spaces or enclosed spaces. So people who struggle with this get really bad anxiety and they get often like panic attacks as well, like that come alongside it. And overcoming it takes a lot of strength and practice. And I suppose I would say exposure therapy would be the best thing to overcome agoraphobia. Like with any anxiety, you kind of need to expose yourself slowly to different things that make you feel anxious and scared. I know Lydia can talk on this because she's done some videos on her channel, like with her going out and testing her agoraphobia. So I'll hand it over to Lydia.
Yeah, so I'm very much so at the beginning of my recovery from agoraphobia. I don't go out if I can help it, which doesn't help. Let's be real, that doesn't help anyone. But I did a few videos on my channel about overcoming agoraphobia, and the first exposure that I did was going to a park and sitting down, and even that caused a panic attack. Then the next one I did was when I went on a train to my mum's. It took 3 hours to get there, and my anxiety was horrific.
Yeah, that's very hard. Even for me, that would be very difficult.
So how do you overcome agoraphobia? I don't know. I say exposure therapy like Alana said.
It's a hard one. I mean, you can't really give us exact answer on how to overcome it because I think it's something you just got to work on day by day. And each day is different. Like one day you may wake up and you feel a little bit stronger and you're like, oh, I can kind of go out and go to the park and see if I can sit there for 5 minutes. And other days you might wake up and you're like, oh, I'm really struggling today. I'm very anxious, or I've got other stuff going on. This may not be the right day to test out or to expose myself. So yeah, I think with this question we can't really give you an exact answer because like even with me, like my agoraphobia is still an issue, and so I haven't overcome it yet either. I'm still kind of like Lydia said, I'm still kind of in recovery from it and trying to get better with it. So yeah, if Lydia wants to say the second question, then yeah.
So the second question we have is, when did your anxiety start? Now I know for me it would have been when I was like 5 or 6. I've always, as long as I can remember, I've always had anxiety problems.
Relatable.
Like, I remember being in school and we had to do a speaking and listening exercise, and the character was shy, fragile, emotional, scared, and I was literally shaking in my voice when I was reading out of this piece of paper that I was using to hide my face. And I remember I just broke down crying and I got an A. Anxiety served me well that day.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I'm the same. I can remember being like 6 probably and starting to have really bad anxiety. I had panic attacks from a very young age. And I would go to dance class when I was probably around 9 or 10, and I would have panic attacks because I would get so anxious that my parents were going to pick me up late or that they were going to forget to come get me. And yeah, I would get really anxious about like leaving the house. I wouldn't want to, as a teenager, I didn't want to leave the house and go places like to youth group or to any sort of social event. I didn't want to leave the house like when we went through drive-throughs. I didn't want to be have to speak into like the drive-through box to order food. Like it was just a bunch of little things, and my parents would get really mad at me because they were like, "Stop being so dramatic. Why are you like getting upset over this? Like it's not a big deal." And they just didn't really understand that it was actually anxiety. And when I would have panic attacks, I didn't know what it was. So I grew up not knowing what anxiety was until I was honestly like 13, and then I finally knew.
I'm the same. I didn't know what it was until I was in my teens.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, when I was a teenager, I found out all about mental health because I went to a public school and everyone was talking about it, and I was like, oh, what's this that I've been shielded from?
yeah, I had no clue. I was oblivious. The reason I found out about mental health was that I started watching YouTube videos back in like 2012, I think it was, or 2011. And back when YouTube was like just kind of starting out and stuff, and I found all these like little channels that had like, you know, videos on mental health issues, and I was like, what is this? What is this world of mental health? And I know it was probably the same for Lydia. We were both just like kind of shocked, like, what is this that we've never heard about before? This explains everything. It's a bit sad,
In
but
fact, I was that
yeah,
interested that I did a health and social care course
yeah.
twice. I did it at A level and I did it at GCSE.
Oh, that's so good.
I don't. Are the qualifications the same?
Um, I think it would be called a certificate like 2 or 3. We would call it like a certificate. Yeah, but I we would have something similar. Yeah. Yeah. I know what you mean though. Like when you're talking about it, I know what you kind of mean. Um yeah. So the next question is, what tools do you use to cope? So for me, I always bring a sensory item with me. Like I'd keep a Tangle in my bag. See, I know Lydia will have a lot to say on this, probably more than me, because I'm not very good with this one. But I always have a Tangle. Yes, I have that. I just don't know where it went. I do have that. Um, but I'm actually pretty bad with this. What tools do I use? I suppose I just use deep breathing. Deep breathing is a big one for me. I use that a lot. Yeah, yes, deep breathing, and I tell myself in my head, you can do it. I use positive self-talk. So you're safe, you can do it. Um, you're not in danger. You can always leave and go home if you want. I'm not stuck here. So I just use like a lot of positive self-talk and do that. And that's really all I do. And I use sensory items as well that I keep in my handbag in my car. And I've also got things like perfumes in my car, so it's like the smell. And I've got lavender oil in my car. Things like that that are kind of comforting that I can use if I want to. So yeah, that's what I've got to say. But Lydia probably has way more things that she uses.
So I'm a very anxious person, Like, even like going downstairs to get my medication gives me anxiety.
Yeah.
Because anyone who doesn't know, I live in a mental health care home, and we're not allowed our own medication in our rooms, which a bit annoying, not gonna lie. But whenever I go downstairs, I get anxious because I'm like, what if they're not there? What if there's someone else in the room? What if I bump into this one service user that I really don't like?
Reality. Yeah.
So to cope, I always have a tangle on me.
Yes.
I have a lot of tangles.
So do I. I love them.
My favourite one's this purple one that I've got. I keep it in my backpack for when I travel. And then I've got a pink and blue one in my handbag. And I've got a metallic one in my raincoat pocket.
Yes, I can attest to this. I've seen it.
Easy distraction. But I don't have one on me now, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, nor do I. Mine's in my sensory box, which is near my bed.
I'm gonna get a tangle.
We need to show you a tangle, guys, if you don't know what we're talking about, because you might not know what it is. I think sensory items are a really great way to cope with anxiety, and it's something that you can just like focus on, and you can take them like anywhere as well. Like Lydia was saying, she takes them when she goes like on the train or like on the bus, or she uses them in her room. Yeah, you can basically whip them out anywhere and no one will care. That is cool. I love that one.
It's my pink metallic one.
I'm jealous of these metallic ones. I want one now. I need to get one off Amazon.
I'll send you one.
Oh.
But yeah, tangles are everything.
Yes.
Another thing I do to cope is I do stuff like I do my makeup so I feel more confident.
Oh yes, I didn't think of that one. That's a good one. I do that too.
What else do I do? I mainly play with sensory items.
Yeah.
And I do deep breathing. Anyone who knows me knows deep breathing is my thing. I mention it in pretty much every YouTube.
It's so good. It's such a great tool. Everyone should try it.
Actually, in my notebook that I've actually got stickers with breathing exercises on that I bought on Etsy, and I take my notebook everywhere with me just in case I need to write something down. I don't know where it is actually. Is it in my handbag? Don't know. I would show you, but I don't know where my notebook is.
It's okay.
Which is kind of disappointing because...
Put it on your Instagram. When you find it, take a photo and upload it to your Instagram.
Tangles do this as well. Yeah, they do.
But it's fun to put them back together. It's satisfying.
It hurts to put them back together.
See, there's lots of things you can do with the tangle. That's all you need. If you don't want to buy a bunch of sensory things, just get it yourself a tangle.
When she unlocks her phone.
Yes, when she unlocks her.
How do you cope with panic attacks?
Lydia has a lot more to say on this because I don't get as many panic attacks as Lydia does. So I'll maybe let Lydia answer this first.
So, I remember the first time I had a panic attack. I think I was 6. And I couldn't SH. Tried not to get
I know, I was thinking about that before. I was like, how do I say this without saying a word I want to say?
Yeah, so SH, I'll put on screen what I
Yeah.
mean. How do I cope with panic attacks? Tangles. Again, get a tangle. You need a tangle in your life. Deep breathing. Music. Audiobooks. Netflix. Phoning someone.
Mhm.
Usually my grandma, but I mean, I can't call her at 3:30 in the morning, but
No.
but I guess coping with panic attacks is kind of like distracting from them
Yeah.
and trying to calm down from them. Which is why I say deep breathing, because deep breathing is key. Because if you're in a panic attack, you're usually hyperventilating.
Yeah.
So, you want to regulate your breathing. And by doing deep breathing, you're slowing yourself down. My favourite exercise is in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4.
I do that one.
It's like the breathing square.
Yeah. Yeah. Like box breathing.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I mean.
I was trying to remember. Yeah. I do a lot of the same things as Lydia, but yeah, I would say the breathing one is probably the most helpful because, like she said, if you're hyperventilating, like you have to calm your body down, your nervous system. So yeah, that one is probably the one I use the most. So the next question is, what is anxiety and what types are there? So anxiety is basically like a fear of something. It can be like a fear of anything. Having nerves, being nervous, feeling panicky, having butterflies in your stomach, feeling sick, that type of thing. That's kind of what anxiety is. And what types are there? There's a lot of types of anxiety, and Lydia can correct me if I forget all of them because there are a few. But I'm pretty sure off the top of my head there's generalized anxiety disorder, social anxiety, panic disorder, agoraphobia. Am I missing one?
I don't think you are.
I think there's 4 main anxiety disorders.
Let me have a quick
Yes,
Google.
we will double check. We should know this, but I'm trying to remember because there's a lot of mental health disorders. So and I
PTSD counts as an anxiety disorder.
yes, PTSD.
OCD.
OCD. I was thinking about OCD.
Separation anxiety.
Yes. Yep. Separation anxiety.
Selective mutism.
Yep. Actually, that one's the one that people don't talk about much. Selective mutism.
Maybe I should make a video on selective mutism.
Yeah, you should, because actually that's something that people don't understand really. Yeah. We might just move on to the next question then, because I suppose that kind of answers it.
What triggers your anxiety? Everything.
So, what triggers my anxiety? I would say the thing that triggers my anxiety the most is leaving the house on my own. Yeah, having to leave the house on my own and go somewhere where there's people. That is what triggers my anxiety mainly. Oh, and making phone calls. I despise making phone calls. I avoid them at all costs. I do not like them. They give me the worst anxiety ever. I make other people do them for me. But sometimes I have to be an adult and be a big girl and do them on my own. Uh, so, what triggers your anxiety? Is it just everything, or is it anything in particular? Yeah, I think we're both the same. Like with the agoraphobia, it's mainly based around like leaving the house and stuff. Yeah. Yes, you are. In a big way. She's coming to me. Yay! I know. But next year will be so much better because we'll both have saved up so much more money. We can do so much more. We're gonna have a great time. So the next question is, when was your first experience of anxiety and did you know what anxiety was? So we kind of already answered this, but no, my first experience of anxiety was when I was around 6 years old, and I didn't know what anxiety was. I had no idea what I was feeling. I just knew that I didn't like it and that it was a horrible feeling, but nobody told me what anxiety was or that I was experiencing panic attacks.
Yeah, I'm the same. My mom never really introduced me to mental health.
Mm.
Like, I think my family are very close.
So was mine. Yeah, mine was really anti mental health.
I'm very upfront and out there with it.
Y-
In case you didn't notice,
yeah, same.
they're linked down below.
Go subscribe.
Help me reach 7K.
Help me reach 5K. We're trying, guys. Help us out.
So my first experience of anxiety was when I was 6 or 7. So I didn't have a clue what anxiety was.
It's such a young age. Like, how are you meant to know unless someone tells you?
Like my school teachers were like, "Oh, you're just a bit shy."
Yes, I would get that all the time. Even though I wasn't shy, I was probably the most obnoxious child. Oh. So the next one is, what's it like having agoraphobia? Well, I would say it's just really hard. It makes your life very difficult because if you imagine not being able to leave the house, like, that is something that's going to affect you. You can't have a job. How are you going to go and get groceries? Or maybe you need to go to a medical appointment. Maybe you have to travel like Lydia does to go see her mom or just to go spend time with her grandparents. Like, all of those things, it just makes everything so much harder and it takes a lot more out of you. And I find I get exhausted after I've done the thing that I've been really anxious about.
So, what's it like having agoraphobia? Exhausting.
Yes, yes.
Because you're literally fighting with yourself to go out the front door.
Mm.
Like I can get dressed, I can do my makeup, I can start going downstairs, but as soon as I reach the ground floor to go out, I start having panic attacks because I'm so close to being out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
It's just like a crippling fear of the outside. Like when I have to go pick up packages, I get them to leave it on the doorstep.
Oh, I do
Then
this
I go downstairs,
too.
get it from the.
Yeah, I can't like open the door for anything, for packages, for food, nothing. It has to be left on the door. They can't even ring the doorbell. I say on there, do not ring the doorbell. I don't open the door unless I know a specific person is coming over, like my friend. I do not even open the door. Like, the minute I get to my car that's in our driveway, that's when my anxiety just starts getting really bad and I start panicking and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. Like, I want to go back inside. Yeah. The other question is, how did you develop agoraphobia? For me, I'm not actually sure why I developed it. I don't know how it happened. I just kind of eventually developed it when I was a teenager. Like 12 or 13, I think it was, and then I've just had it ever since. So I'm not really sure what triggered it.
Same. I have no idea what triggered it. I've just always been this way.
Yeah.
Even like when I lived with my mom, now that's going back about 10 years now, but when I lived with my mom, I still couldn't answer the door. And my mom would just shout, say, Lydia, can you open the door for the delivery? And I'm just like...
Yeah, I would be the exact same, and I didn't know why I couldn't do it. I'd be like, well, this is silly. Like, why can't I open the door? Like, it's just opening the door. I get it, yeah. And then you start to feel really bad about yourself because you're like, why can't I do these simple things that everyone else can do? But really, you got to understand that it's a mental illness and it's a disorder, and like, it's not your fault. Like, it's just something that you have to unfortunately deal with. And the more you do try to challenge all of these thoughts and behaviors, the easier it does get eventually. So, yeah.
And the last question is there something specific that causes your anxiety? Kind of already answered this, but going outside, answering the door, having people come in my bedroom, getting trained, dealing with the London Underground. I think that's the worst one, the Underground.
I would not want to go there.
I like the Underground because I think it's quite smart how it's all worked out, but it's always so busy when I get on it from mine. And you kind of have to stand up really crowded against people, and I'm just like, what if someone robs me?
Oh gosh.
So yeah, that's for something specific that causes my anxiety, definitely going out. I think that's the main thing that triggers my anxiety.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I was gonna bring that up because I had to have a job interview recently, and that was like one of the most anxiety provoking things ever. I was like full on shaking. Yeah, I would say for me, like leaving the house is definitely one of the big ones, and then the second one would be driving, having to drive myself places. That is really like high anxiety. And then the third one would be having to go somewhere where I've never been before. So like an event, a gathering with people, a new environment.
Pardon, siren.
Wait for the siren. Gotta love London. So yeah, any sort of gathering that revolves people that I don't know, or a new environment, like a place, like a actual environment I've never been in before, that also really triggers my anxiety.
Yeah, I can understand that.
So yeah, I think agoraphobia is hard to live with, but I think like both of us can say that we've been trying to do little things to overcome it. And Lydia has a great series on her doing things to overcome her agoraphobia, so go check that out. Because it gives you good tips on like what you can do. But yeah, I probably will make a video on agoraphobia on my channel as well, talking about my experience and going into a bit more detail. But I hope you guys found this insightful and interesting. And yeah, do you have anything you want to say, Lydia, before we go?
Just that all the channels and videos we've mentioned in this video will be linked down below.
Yes, that's important.
And subscribe to Lana.
Yes, and subscribe to Lydia as well. And go check out all of our stuff, our Instagrams and everything. So thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye!